Hello, this is Linda Vettrus-Nichols, and do I have an amazing woman to introduce you to, Andrea Sanchez. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Linda. I'm so honored to be here.
Yay! So great to have you. So, Andrea, you have a very interesting story of transformation, and I would love it if you would share that with the rest of us.
I came from a background and growing up with a very strict background and household and upbringing of
Mm,
where I was pretty much told what to do, what to wear, how to think. Um, I I never really was allowed to express my own feelings or how I thought was not validated, that I must think a certain way. If not, people are gonna not think we're a strong enough family, or that's gonna be
uh,
embarrassing, etc.
right.
So because of all this, as you can imagine, I had like really low self-confidence, self-worth, and that brought a whole other issues like bullying at school and
Wow.
emotional abuse and which led me to big depression and anxiety, and it just escalated from there. So
Great.
luckily, what was my savior was going into the university where I actually lived on my own for the first time, and I started to realize that there is a person inside of me that kind of wants to come out and have a voice.
To have a voice that you did, right?
But I was never like rebellious or anything. I was just actually being myself. So I began to explore more things and more thoughts and so forth. But, in the back of my head, I always had that inner child that was hurt. Um,
Yeah.
that continued on through when I got married, through my, initial adult years, through my beginnings of my career in communications and marketing. The funny and ironic thing is that through my career, I shape stories of how people come across and make sure that their brands and personalities are strong, which was very ironic because that's not how I felt inside for
Right?
myself.
That's what makes us good at what we do, too.
Oh gosh, I know. So it wasn't until actually I had my first child, and then fast forward to three children,
Oh,
that I started to think, I don't want my kids to end up feeling the way I did. And I
right.
certainly don't want any of the things that I experienced to kind of sneak up in the way I parent.
Yeah.
So I was very, very, very self-aware.
Mm.
And that's when I started having like mini epiphanies on how I wanted to act rather than how I was taught, unconsciously or not, how to act. Um,
Cool.
it wasn't until I lived overseas. My husband got transferred overseas to Baku, Azerbaijan, which is by Iran and
Oh,
Turkey, like
yeah.
halfway across the
I
world.
resettled Russian refugees from Azerbaijan.
Really?
There were a lot of Muslims in their towns. They were like
Oh my
hanging people and all
gosh.
kinds of
Let
crazy
me know
things. So
all
they
about
came
that
from
then.
for religious freedom to the United States.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
So you're very familiar then. So that the culture was, it was fascinating, don't get me wrong, but the culture was completely different. I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things, so I felt like the depression was coming back, the self-doubt, and that during that time I really used social media and technology to connect with people. I mean, my
Okay.
world was halfway across the other side of the ocean.
Right.
And that's when I discovered Twitter and Twitter chats. For those of you that don't know, it's any topic you can think of, and start and continue to learn and connect with thought leaders and keep in the know. So that made me realize, I can still learn, but it also was one of the toughest times because I had the time now to sink into myself and really figure out who I was. Um,
Cool.
so that was an awakening right
Hmm.
there. And
Yeah.
I realized after that I wanted to help others that have maybe gone through similar types of situations, and to let them know that there is a person inside of them. You just need to give them the courage to come out. So everything I do now is toward that.
That's so cool. And what is your logo, your company name then? Is Spark Story?
Yes,
Okay.
Spark Story.
And what does that mean to you?
So twofold. I think everyone has a spark in them that can lead to igniting something else and something bigger. It may be the one thing the world needs to create a movement, to create a bigger awareness of kindness, etc. But it takes that one spark, that one person to lead.
Nice.
So I think everyone has that in them, and everyone has a story.
Yeah.
So everyone has a story in them that can make someone feel less alone, make someone feel, okay, I'm human, I'm not weird after all.
Yeah.
So I termed it Spark Story because I think everyone at least has that one story of enlightenment that can, or awakening, that can help others kind of be who they are.
Right. And so what is it that your company offers? What do you do for people?
So my background has always been communications, marketing, branding, and what I do for people is try to incorporate ways that they can introduce themselves to the world, whether it's a company or an individual, through their brand. And their brand meaning going through and telling stories, not introducing themselves like, I have this degree and I did this and I have this experience and I sell this product. But how do you connect with others through your story? What is so unique about you? What do you value? If you could think of 3 words that represent you, what would they be? And kind of go from there. So whatever they value is kind of their brand, and what fonts they use and what imagery they use, and even what music they use in the video. So I help them create that for them so they have a clear focused direction, whether they want to produce podcasts or videos or writing. So their true personalities come out.
I love it. And your Dare to Be is on Tuesday evenings at 8 Eastern, or?
It is.
Okay.
Dare to Be is a chat on Twitter. It's Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's been going strong for 5 years.
Woohoo!
And so it's for those not familiar with Twitter chats, it's a whole hour of conversation on a certain topic. So I dare people to be something different every Tuesday night. Either dare to be courageous, dare to be creative, dare to be heroic, or whatever it may be. And every 5 minutes, there's a new question on the topic. Either fill in the blank or share an example, or however you want to answer it and however you feel comfortable. And people start relating to others and finding new friends and finding new connections. And I have some people that have been coming back all those years. So we really have a tight community. It's really cool.
What a great way to get exposure too for people.
Yeah,
and like you said, meet other people. I love it. And so how do they get there? Like what, they pull up they go into their Twitter account.
Yeah, you go on Twitter. If you put hashtag Dare to Be, the conversations that went on during that chat will come up automatically in your search.
Okay.
You can also, if you want to join in on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, you go to Twitter again and you search hashtag Dare to Be, and then it'll connect you to the whole conversation or virtual room of all of us conversing about the hot topic.
Very cool.
They can also look for me on Twitter, Sanchez16, and I always post when we're about to go on.
Okay, wonderful. And say that one more time. It's like the @ sign?
The @, then Sanchez16, 16, because that was my lucky number at one point.
Yeah, right. And so the Sanchez is right there with on our slide. Wonderful. That's so cool. Thank you so much for that invitation to join your Twitter chat for everyone. Appreciate that very much. All right. Bye-bye, Andrea. Good talking to you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.